From translation, NET, New English Translation. This 256th day of the year, today we are reading passages Ezekiel 43 through 45. Ezekiel chapter 43, verses 1 to 28. Then he led me to the gate that faced east. I saw the glory of the God of Israel approaching from the east. I heard a sound like the roar of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. It was like the vision I saw when he came to destroy the city. And the visions and the way I saw it were similar to the ones I saw by the Kebar River. So I fell face down. Then the glory of the Lord came into the temple by way of the gate facing east. The glory of the Lord ascended from the middle of the city and stood over the mountain east of it. While he was standing beside me, I heard him speaking to me out of the temple. He said to me, "Son of man, this is the place of my throne and the place for the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the Israelites forever. They put their threshold to the east of my threshold. They put their doorway next to my doorway, with no wall between them, and they profaned my holy name, so that I was blasphemed by my people. Now let them put far from me their detestable things and their abominations, and I will dwell among them forever. As for you, son of man, describe to the house of Israel the temple and its appearance, so that they may be ashamed of their iniquities. And if they are ashamed of all they have done, make known to them the design of the temple, its plan, its exits and entrances, and all its designs, along with all its ordinances and all its laws. This is the law of the entire temple. The entire area all around it is most holy. This is to be the law of the temple. And these are the measurements of the altar in royal cubits. And a cubit is a standard royal cubit. It is a cubit and a handbreadth in length, and a cubit in width, and its surface is a square, with a distance of a double cubit from one base to the next. From the base of the ground to the lower edge it was 2 cubits, with a width of 1 cubit. And from the small ledge to the large ledge it was 4 cubits, with a width of 1 cubit. The altar pedestal was 12 cubits high and 12 cubits wide. The altar hearth was square, 12 cubits long by 12 cubits wide. The ledge was 14 cubits long, with a width of 14 cubits on all 4 sides. The border around it was half a cubit, and its base was 1 cubit all around, with steps on all 4 sides. He said to me, "Son of man, this is the place of the altar, where they will slaughter the burnt offerings and where they will sprinkle the blood before me. You will give the priests, the Levites, who are descendants of ZADOK, who are responsible for me, bulls to slaughter as a sin offering. You will take some of its blood and put it on the 4 horns of the altar, on the 4 corners of the ledge, and on the border around it. You will cleanse it and purify it. Then you will take the bull for the sin offering and slaughter it at the designated place in the temple courtyard. When you finish cleansing the temple, you will offer an unblemished bull and an unblemished ram from the flock. You will bring them before the Lord, and the priests will scatter salt on them and offer them up as a burnt offering to the Lord. For 7 days you will offer daily a goat for a sin offering, also a young bull and a ram for the flock. Animals without blemish will be offered. For 7 days they will make atonement for the altar and cleanse it, so they will consecrate it. When they have finished these tasks, then the priests will enter, along with the Levites, into the temple and serve it. But the Levites who ministered to the temple and were far from me when Israel strayed from me to their idols will bear the punishment for their sin, because they ministered to them before their idols and became a sinful snare for the house of Israel. Therefore I have made this decree against them, that they will be cut off from the people." Ezekiel chapter 44, verses 1 to 31. Then he brought me back to the outer gate of the temple, which faced east, and it was closed. The Lord said to me, "This gate will remain closed. It will not be opened, and no one will go through it, for the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered through it. Therefore it will remain closed. But the prince will stand by the porch of the gate and enter. But he must not go out through the gate. He must stand there so that the people may see his presence, and he must enter and exit through the porch of the gate. Then he led me by the way of the north gate to the front of the temple. I looked and I saw the glory of the Lord filling the Lord's temple, and I fell face down. The Lord said to me, "Son of man, pay attention, watch closely, and listen carefully to everything I tell you concerning the regulations of the Lord's temple. Pay attention to the entrance, especially with regard to the exits, and say to the rebellious house of Israel, 'This is what the Lord God says. Enough of your abominations, O house of Israel. You brought in foreigners, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary. You profaned my temple when you brought in these foreigners as cattle. You did not keep charge of my holy things, but you set up foreigners to keep charge of my sanctuary for you. This is what the Lord God says. No foreigners, uncircumcised in heart or uncircumcised in flesh, will enter my sanctuary. Not even any of those who are living among the Israelites. The Levites who went far from me when Israel strayed from me, to their idols, will bear the punishment for their sin. Yet they will be in my sanctuary, serving as gatekeepers for the temple and as servants of the temple. They will slaughter the burnt offering for the people and serve as their attendants, because they used to serve them in front of their idols and became a sinful snare for the house of Israel. I have made this decree against them that they will be cut off from the people. They will not approach me to serve as my priests, or come near my holy things, or enter my sanctuary. They will bear their shame for their detestable things they have done. However, I will appoint them to keep charge of the temple, for all its service and for everything that is done in it. But the Levitical priests, the descendants of ZADOK, who kept the charge of my sanctuary when the Israelites wandered away from me, will return to me and serve me. I will place them in charge of my sanctuary, and they will be in charge of the sacred service. They will enter my sanctuary. They will approach my table to serve me. They will keep my charge. When they enter the gates of the inner court, they must wear linen garments. They must neither shave their heads nor let their hair grow long. They must trim their hair. The priests must not drink wine when they enter the inner court. They must not take a widow or a divorcee as a priestly wife, but they may marry a virgin of Israelite descent or a widow who is a widow of a priest. They must teach my people the difference between what is holy and what is profane, and show them how to distinguish between what is unclean and what is clean. In a dispute, they will take their stand to render judgment. They will make a decision for me in accordance with my ordinances and my laws. They will keep my Sabbaths holy and show reverence for my appointed feasts. They must not come near a dead person. They must not make themselves unclean, even for a father or a mother. But when he has become clean, they must count off for him 7 days. On the day he enters the inner court, the holy place, to serve in the holy place, he must offer his sin offering, declares the sovereign Lord. I will give them no inheritance in Israel. I will be their inheritance. They will eat the grain offering, the sin offering, and the guilt offering, and every devoted thing in Israel will be theirs. The best of all the firstfruits of any kind or any offering of any kind which is given to the Lord will be yours. The firstborn of every womb of all the animals will belong to you. You will eat the firstborn of every womb, whether the firstborn of animals or the firstborn of humankind. The firstborn of unclean animals you will redeem. Ezekiel chapter 45, verses 1 to 25. When you allot the land as an inheritance, you must set aside for the Lord a portion of the land as a holy offering. The length will be 25,000 cubits, and the width 10,000 cubits. This entire region will be holy. Of this, a square area, 500 by 500 cubits, will be set aside for the sanctuary, with 50 cubits empty all around it. From this area, measure off a section 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide. On it, the sanctuary, the most holy place, will be located. It will be a holy portion of land for the priests who serve in the sanctuary, who approach the Lord to serve him. It will be a place for their houses and for the holy place, an area 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide will be for the Levites who serve in the temple. It will be their property, with cities to live in. As the property of the city, you will set aside an area 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 cubits long. This will be for the whole house of Israel. The prince will have land on both sides of the holy allotment and the property of the city, adjacent to the holy allotment and the property of the city, on the west side and on the east side, and its length will extend from one end of the holy allotment to the other. The prince will be a part of Israel. My sovereign Lord says, the princes will no longer oppress my people, but will distribute the land to the tribes of Israel and rule over them fairly. My sovereign Lord says, enough of you. Put away your princes and install me as ruler over Israel. Put away your kings and let me reign over them. You must use accurate scales, an accurate dry measure, and an accurate liquid measure. The dry and liquid measures will be the same. A bath will be equal to 1/10 of a homer, and a seah will equal 1/20 of a homer. The homer will be the standard unit for measuring volume. The shekel will be 20 gerahs. 20 shekels will be a mina. A talent will be 60 minas. This is your offering. Your grain offering will be 1/60 of your homer, and your grain offering will be 1/60 of your homer. 1/6 of an ephah is 1/10 of a homer. The prescribed portion of oil, measured by the bath, will be 1/10 of a bath for each core, which is like a homer. For 10 baths, make a homer. Also, 1 sheep out of every 2,000 from your flock, and from the other pastures of Israel, will be provided for as a meal offering, burnt offering, and peace offering to make atonement for them, declares the sovereign Lord. All the people of the land will be obliged to bring this offering to the prince of Israel. The prince will be responsible for the burnt offerings, sin offerings, and peace offerings. He will make atonement for Israel. This is what the sovereign Lord says. In the first month, on the first day of the month, you will take a young bull, one without blemish, and purify the sanctuary. The priest will take some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the door frames of the temple, on the 4 corners of the ledge of the altar, and on the posts of the gate of the inner port. You will do the same on the 7th day of the month for anyone who sins unintentionally or due to ignorance. So you will make atonement for the temple. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you will celebrate the Passover. For 7 days, unleavened bread will be eaten. The prince will provide a bull as a sin offering, and 2 rams and a male lamb 1 year old, all without blemish, as a burnt offering to the Lord. On each of the 7 days of the festival, he will provide 7 bulls and 7 rams, all without blemish, as a burnt offering to the Lord. Also for each day, he will provide a male goat as a sin offering. The grain offering will be an ephah for each of the bulls and an ephah for each ram, and for each of the lambs as much as he is able to give, and a hin of olive oil for each ephah of grain. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, at the festival, he will provide for 7 days. The same purification offering, the same burnt offering, and the same grain offering, and the same olive oil throughout the 7 days.